This is one. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Welcome, welcome. How's everybody? Can you all hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Good morning, Miss Paula. I was
Okay,
on mute.
okay, how you doing, Miss Stud?
I'm doing great in yourself.
All right, you started submitting any bids yet?
I've been looking, but the ones that were for like registration, they wanted me to pay 50% or something. I didn't know, so no.
Okay, now is the time, and
Right.
you should not be having to pay to submit a bid. That doesn't make sense.
No, no, not to bid, but to be awarded the contract. They wanted us to like put 50%. And then one was you wouldn't get paid until like the actual event from people signing up.
Oh yeah, no, we don't do that.
Right. So I did not. Right.
But I've been putting stuff out. But welcome to the
All right.
newbie. Keisha,
Good
Miss,
morning.
how you
How you
doing? Tell
doing?
me a
I'm
little bit
doing good.
about yourself. Can I see some folks? Y'all making me, I don't like talking to a black screen. Who am I talking to?
Yes, ma'am. I called you yesterday. I told you I had the private home care business.
Okay. Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
And you located here?
I'm in Georgia, but
Oh,
I told you I'm in multi states. South Carolina with my business, Georgia and Alabama.
mhm. All
And I
right.
was on a meeting yesterday.
It was on what?
I was on a meeting was it yesterday?
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. All right. Well, welcome, Miss Keisha. I
Thank
remember.
you.
Miss Brody, can you introduce yourself? Where you from? Where you located? What's your background? How you hear about us? Miss Brody, can you unmute yourself? Well,
Hey, good morning.
hey, hi, okay.
I'm at my son's football game. I'm sorry,
That's
I
all
didn't want to
right.
miss this. You
That's all
remember
right.
me?
Yes, I do. I do. How you doing? Welcome, welcome.
This is my other son. We listening. We try.
Hi, King. Hi, King. We like kings. That's right. King, what's the
Yes,
king's
but so
name?
we have everything on mute, but we are definitely listening. So
Okay. Oh, all right.
it's
All
nice
right.
seeing you though.
Oh, you too. You too. It is 9:31, and I want to be respectful of everybody's time. And we're getting ready to go through a whole lot. Miss Douglas she just actually graduated from the cohort in, was it July? Um, and so um, this is just an information session, Miss Douglas, if you still just want to sit in and gather anything, but it's stuff that you already know. It's nothing new.
That's fine. I'm still going to stay on
Okay.
because there was so much and I still can learn.
All right. And hopefully you signed up for the master class for next week or with Kim Bannister.
I was looking at that and I
Yeah,
was going to ask. Okay.
that's a free one too. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. Miss Humans, is that how you pronounce yourself? Your name?
Good morning. It's Yeomans.
Yeomans.
Yes.
Yes, welcome. Let me know a little bit
Thank
of
you.
your background. Where you from? How you hear about
I heard about it on ABC.
All right.
Yes, so I joined usually join the meetings. I'm currently located in Stockbridge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm originally from Statesboro, Georgia, but I'm right now located in Stockbridge.
And what's your background?
Right now I am stepping into trauma-informed speaking and coaching.
Okay. All right. We're getting ready to change everybody's world today, right, Miss Douglas? We're getting ready to
That's
open
right.
your eyes open so we don't have to think about our skill set as we try to build generational wealth. So, welcome everybody. This is GPI. I will always open with, despite all the chaos that's currently going on, to me, it's still opportunities. Why? They laid off all of us last year. We were the worker bees. That's to our advantage because the people that they have on the inside now evaluating these contracts, they don't know what they're doing. So the chances of you winning now is probably higher, and the work still needs to get done. So, that's where we are right now, and we just got to ride our time. But you have to be prepared for when the time is going to end because it's going to end. I truly believe this. We can't keep going through this mental abuse that we've been going through. And again, it's all about mobilizing and collaboration. Many of you who have heard me know I'm a strong believer of collaboration. And in this space, you have to collaborate. You cannot do this by yourself. And you also have to understand what is your why. Why are you in business? Why are you um, why are you jumping into this space? And for me, um, my why was based on my father being one of the first Black police officers in Asheville, North Carolina, having to sue the police department in the 80s and winning based on discrimination, and then retiring and running for city council. And as a city council, he found land by the projects that he felt like our kids needed a park. So he was able to get it funded. And so we now have a park in his name. So I was just home there last week and was just heartfelt to see again his vision still live with children playing in the park and his legacy. So my legacy is you guys. The more millionaires I create, the more billionaires I create, then you guys become the legacy for me. So I want to one up my papa. To start off, just to give you a background on who I am and how I ended up here. Originally, I'm from Asheville, North Carolina. Again, Asheville, after college, I went to Washington, D.C., and I'd never seen that many Black people in my life. I was like, y'all free up here. They were, and everybody was a government contractor that was a part of this program called the 8A. By show of hands, how many have heard of 8A? You heard of 8A? Yeah? Let's make this interactive. Yes? No?
No, I have never.
Okay. We're going to talk about the 8A. The 8A was a program that everyone was a part of up in DC. My first job was as an event planner. And as I understood and started sitting inside those meetings, I began to understand how the government functioned and how the money flowed. So I positioned myself to attach myself to one contract that was a part of that program, where I went through 5 companies before starting my first business in 1996. The first year in business, I received my first $1 million contract. Second year, I applied into this program, won another $3 million contract, and continued to grow the business to close to $15 million in contracts with 40 employees. And that's really where my challenge began because I really didn't have a clue of what I was doing. Meaning, I went from a project manager to running a multi-million dollar company. Didn't have the infrastructure to support the business. And then I had a crazy business partner who felt like he could run his personal expenses through the business. The last straw for me was a pinstripe suit, a custom-made pinstripe suit with his initials going down the pinstripe. I had my assistant to audit his account. He takes her in the elevator, threatens her. I end up terminating him. He then conspired with two employees to sue me and the other employee, partner for sexual harassment. He was their alibi. 2 years of attorney fees, $125,000 of attorney fees, $100,000 to buy him out. I ended up closing the business in 2005 and transferring 7 million of my contracts to another 8A firm. But what it did was really push me to my passion because I realized nobody was training anyone in my community on how to grow and understand how to manage a business on that side. So I volunteered as a SCORE counselor, which is a resource partner of SBA. After um, 2 years, ran out of money, applied for a position with SBA. I was hired in the Philadelphia district office, and that was the office that actually processed these 8A applications. My job was to service the businesses once they got into the program. After 4 years, I relocated here in 2012. To this district office. And while I was in this office, they required for us to become certified as contract specialists. And for me, that was the full circle because I wasn't quite sure what steps or the process the government took to actually put solicitations out for you to bid on. In 2015, I got mad at SBA and fired them. And because I realized nobody at SBA or their resource partners have to run a business. So they were limiting themselves to helping small businesses. I've trained more than 10,000 businesses on marketing to the government and have assisted small businesses to win over 1.5 billion in contracts across various industries. I've also written a book called That's Crazy, Recognize Crazy, and Run. And it's all documenting that lawsuit because all it takes is one person in your organization to disrupt the business. So based on all of that and working at SBA and doing a lot of workshops at SBA, what I realized was they would come in, we'll tell them, go register in this database, get this certified. Everybody's excited, but nobody's quite sure how to connect the dots. And it's the same thing with these government agencies. Nobody understood SBA's operations because everybody is siloed. No one talks to each other. So that's why a lot of small businesses are challenged in getting into this game. The government is assuming you understand their language. They are assuming you understand their processes. Once you determine what certifications you qualified for, then what documentations is SBA looking for you when you start applying? And again, understanding each of these agencies are siloed. No one talks to each other, and these systems are disconnected. And so what I realized, and that really was just in the last 2 years, was that what I found was business owners that have not played in this space, how they are trying to enter this space is trying to determine where their services and products fits within the government. And it's the same analogy that they use for corporations. But for me, that's not the approach you make for this process. Our goal is to create a business model based on what the government is buying. That makes the most sense to me. So every year, and even in the first session, we look at the federal government's budget. And based on the budget, where is the money shifting to? That's where you start, and that's key and critical. Otherwise, you're going to spend a lot of time wasted trying to chase something that they may not be buying. Does that make sense to everyone? So when I look at what was in this year's budget, and I need to update this with FY27 because that's already out. I asked AI, and that's what we're doing now as part of our training, is helping you build a government con AI agent. So based on all of this, I asked my AI agent to determine where are the dollars going for small businesses and what industry. So when you all, anybody on this line, when you look at these industries, do you see yourself fitting in any of these industries over here? Anybody? And if so, which industry? Anybody? Miss Keisha. Yeah, I'm gonna start calling you out. This is you over here. Case management, administrator.
I'm sorry, I'm not sure if it's my computer out.
Huh? Can you hear me? You just unmute. So does anybody else see themselves in this equation where you think you could fit? Okay, all right. I'm not sure what's going on. Huh?
Couldn't hear you. It's like I can hear you now. It was going
Okay.
in and out.
Okay. Yes. Can y'all hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. Which
Okay.
industry were you asking about?
I was asking based on this year's budget and looking at the industries and where the dollars are going, can you see yourself fitting in any of these industries based on the dollars? And if so, where?
For me, it would probably be Veterans Affairs because my business is associated with seniors.
Doing what?
I provide medical supplies and medical products such as rolling walkers, assisted devices for mobility, health monitors, and safety around the home.
Okay, very good. Very good. Anybody else? Keisha, I saw you down the administration case management support. That's what you're doing in these private healthcare. So what I'm hoping you to understand is how you transfer all of your information, I mean your skill sets to the government. Coach Tracy, I see you're a coach. Do you see where you may potentially fit in?
Veteran affairs as well.
And here, coaching, training and professional services, because that's what coaching is. So it's just changing your language from what you're currently doing to the government's language. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
Uh, um, who said they do medical supplies? Then that's
That was
also
me.
house. So you got to have some place to store that, right?
Yes.
So just thinking of it outside of the box and expanding your current services. And that was the primary reason I created GPI. The GPI was created based on what I wish someone would have told me in that first business. And the first thing that I learned was not to limit your business. And I say that because in that first business, when I first started out, I was marketing my company as an event planning company. And my mentor asked me why was I pigeonholing myself. And when he said that, it made sense based on the companies I'd gone through and those that were successful. So I changed my business model to the management consulting firm, and I created an administrative division, IT, communications, and a database. And then I started winning contracts in each of those divisions and understanding managing your business has nothing to do with your skill set. Hear me now. And I think after all the 10 years, this is the biggest challenge we have is that shift. I do not have to know anything about that contract to win that contract. My job as the CEO is to find the people with the skill sets to perform on that contract. I make my money off of the people. Did y'all hear that? Do I need to repeat that?
Yes, ma'am. I heard you.
That's how America makes money. It hasn't changed. They started out with the free labor and the land. Those equations still is the same. Collaboration is key in this space. You cannot do this by yourself. Up in DC, everybody is grandfathered in. So, in part of the second module of our program, we put you into teams so you can understand the power of collaboration. On the first module about limiting your business, we're going to change your whole business model. Yes, one area may be in your area of expertise, but you're going to have 3 or 4 areas that you're going to use other people that you're going to put on your team that now you can market to the government. Those are considered contingency hires. I'm getting ready to preach to y'all right now, and hopefully you'll hear me. You must have the infrastructure. What do I mean by infrastructure, someone?
A team that can fulfill the infrastructure, like the administrative portion, management, those sort of things. Is that correct?
No, ma'am.
I
No.
was gonna say the
Huh?
proper business setup.
What's the proper business setup?
So your of course your business has to be registered with the state, your EIN, your banking, all of that.
And that's nice, but y'all heard I got sued. I was dealing with 5 attorneys at one time, making sure you have the accountant, the attorney. You need to understand how to protect your business. Had I had employment practice liability insurance, employment practice liability insurance, that would have covered my lawsuit. That is insurance outside of your general business insurance. That would have covered the 125,000 attorney fees and the 100,000 in buyout. So as soon as you have a W-2 employee, or before you have a W-2 employee, you want to make sure you have that insurance. So can somebody write that in the chat? Employment Practice Liability Insurance, EPLI. The government's fiscal year starts when and ends when? When does it begin? Someone? Anybody?
I know it ends in October.
It starts in October. It ends September 30th.
It ends when?
September 30th. It starts October 1st and ends September 30th. So for you as a small business, there's a peak time and a downtime for you to market to the government. The peak time to market to the government, meaning you're going to be reaching out talking to them, trying to build the relationships before they receive their funding. Because what typically happens, the government does not receive its funding until February or March. They're operating on what they call a continuing resolution, meaning they're limited to their budget. The budget, they have not been fully funded. Right now, what we would call up in DC is Christmas season. Because think about it, if they don't get their full budget until March, and by the time it goes through the process and goes within those agencies, they have a real short window of getting rid of their money. So between now and September, it's Christmas season. So you're throwing out, they're trying to get rid of all the money. So right now it's bidding. And with AI, that's our equalizer right now. I wish I had AI back in the day, because you can now leverage the AI to help you structure your response and what the cost is going to be. But you need to understand what prompts you're going to be asking that AI. And that's what we're training as part of the program. So when you look at why federal contracts, because every agency has goals. They have goals that are set by SBA. 23% of their contracts without any certifications has to be set aside for small businesses. 5% for women-owned, 5% for participants in the 8A program, 5% for service disabled, and 3% for hub zones. So what that means for you is that the more certifications you have, you're helping the agency meet their goals. And SBA published how many awards, the dollar amounts were awarded to each of these programs. Based on this environment and the way that we've been trained to lead with our business, we can no longer lead with the certifications, and we should never have led with the certifications. The language has to be, I'm a small business offering these core services. And by the way, I have these certifications for as contracting vehicles. The environment right now is hostile. Every year, again, every SBA will publish the scorecard. So part of the first module is you going in to determine what agencies did or did not meet their goals, because now that's going to be a potential strategy for you to target those agencies. And then what I realized when I left the DMV area and when I went to Pennsylvania was businesses outside of DMV. And when I came here, I realized nobody was winning contracts. Nobody was a part of these programs. Uh, Based on the number of businesses that were registered in this program. So I've been kicking and screaming for the last 10 years to get people engaged in this program, and I'm going to tell you why shortly. So in the entire state of Georgia, we only had 145 businesses in this program. I refuse to believe that we don't have more than 100, and out of the 145, it could be 100 Black-owned businesses that are part of this program. It doesn't make sense. When you look at Virginia right now, there's 800. Maryland, that's almost 500. So there's almost 1,300 companies in the program up in Maryland and Virginia. So what you find is businesses coming here to win contracts. There is no competition. Hear me now. No competition. What do we have here, someone?
So you said there's no competition in
Georgia.
in Georgia?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Look at the numbers in this program.
Okay, in that program. Okay.
And then what agencies are here in Georgia? Someone.
Mhm.
Well, you have Maryland on the screen now.
No, I was saying what federal agencies are in Georgia.
Oh, what federal agencies?
CDC.
What else? As 5 military bases here. There's a federal building downtown where I used to work. Understand where anytime there's a military base, there's going to be federal contracts. Military bases are cities within the cities. So even with specific products, people sell military, and it's less competition just based on the opportunities that are out here. This is the website where you're going to find the opportunities, and we're going to go through that, and I'm going to show you. The closer we get to September, you're going to see these opportunities increase. This was back in March with 7,000 posted for a period of time. And then I started thinking about my community and where we tend to start our businesses. And we started based on our skill set. And I, again, used AI to tell me to translate our skill sets into where there are contract opportunities. People don't think of hairstylists, barbers being able to play in this space. I had a IT firm. She won her first contract providing a barber at the prison center downtown 3 days a week. These are the agencies that are buying the services as we start looking at transferring what we're already doing, right? Last year, I had my gumbo gourmet who started out with doing the selling gumbo with 200 customers a month. Since completing the class and getting her certification and letting the companies that she was working with that she didn't realize they were prime contractors know that she has a certification. She's now went from 200 clients a month to 2,000. That's in a year. It's a game changer. So understanding where you fit in first, but also don't pigeonhole yourself because you are managing a business. Does this make sense to you guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So you can see how all of this is transferable skills. Yeah. Who would
Yes.
thought? Huh? Any questions? Right here. This is an opportunity that's out here, that's here in Georgia. This is what the government called their market research. Sources sought. Do I have any event planners online? I have any trainers online? Anybody? No event planners? Nobody's planning events?
I have.
Huh?
Yes, I have.
This is a market research. The government's trying to determine who's out there. We need support in planning this event. They are looking for these specific certifications, and they're looking at you just to provide a snapshot, letting them know that you have the capabilities to support and coordinate this event. They put this back out. I put this in my in my school community.
Do you have to have all those certifications in order?
No, this is just small business. That's the first stage to determine, do we have any small businesses that are qualified to do this?
Mhm.
based on the responses, is going to help the government say, okay, we have two women-owned businesses that have demonstrated they have the history to perform on this contract. We're going to set it aside as a small business, as a woman-owned certification. Or it could be just a total small business. If nobody responds, then it's open to anybody to respond on that without the certification. This was the same thing. This is the contract that is currently out. How many of us do social media?
I
They
do
just
it a lot.
Yes.
they just need a social media manager, right?
Okay. Yes.
They just put it out. So the government buys everything. There's no need to pigeonhole yourself. This is the website that you go to self-certify. You self-certify in sam.gov, Systems for Awards Management, and I call it such a mess because it's very frustrating going through just getting certified as a small business. But that's what you're going to do in the first module because my goal is by the first module you certified and you can start competing on contracts again without any certifications, just as a small business. These are the formal certifications, meaning you have to submit a application to SBA and you are approved by SBA. The 8A program is a business development program. The Hub Zone program is a program designed for communities. Woman-owned service disabled is just what it states. This is the database that you go to determine which program you qualify for. They centralized it all into one portal, and I'm so happy about that. And they just did that last year. Um, so each portal have their own criteria, but you don't have to upload the same document twice for each program. For instance, the economically disadvantaged component of the women's program is going to ask for the same documents in the 8A program. So you don't have to upload the tax returns and profit and loss statements, all of that twice. The reason I've been preaching this, preaching, this is the only program that's designed to build your your business for 9 years. The way it's helping you build your business is through these non-competitive contracts. Up to, I need to increase that, it's now $5.5 million. These are considered sole source contracts. Did y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
5.5 million. That's how I grew my first business so quickly. They were giving me sole source contracts left and right. So you don't have to compete. And again, you don't have to pigeonhole yourself in one industry. There's no need to. You are the CEO. You don't have to know anything about that contract. Your goal is to find the people that have the skill sets for that contract. The Hub Zone program is based on where your business is located. As long as it's located in an area that's been designated as a hub zone and 35% of your employees live in a hub zone, then you can qualify into that program. The the 8A program right now, that's what I was talking about when I was online with ABC. Previously, if you were a member of any one of these ethnic groups, you automatically met the 8A the social component of the 8A program. Based on this last final rule, they have now disqualified this as one of the ways they're going to evaluate if you meet the social disadvantage. You now have to, and because they were sued 2 years ago. So after the lawsuit, they then requested that you have to write a narrative demonstrating how you have been discriminated against in order for you to meet the criteria. Now they're eliminating that. And what they're saying for you to get into to meet the social criteria for now is that you have to provide evidence that you've been discriminated against. Okay. So what it's done is opened the door up for white men, meaning now white men can start applying into this program and saying, we have been discriminated against because we weren't allowed access to those non-competitive contracts. So what I'm telling businesses, I want to still ride this out till we die. My ancestors fought too hard for us to get to this program, and this is really the way we created the generational wealth. So those of you that have been in business for at least 2 years at a minimum, it doesn't, if you got 15 to $20,000 and you got the documentation that's showing that you've gotten some revenue coming in, because I've had janitorial companies. I serviced the businesses once they got into the program. You can apply into the program. To get around this new ruling, what I recommend is you go through your whole history and demonstrate or tell your story of whatever things that has happened that you've known that you've been discriminated against. Because we all know being Black in America, everybody's discriminated against. Take that documentation and put it in the AI and ask the AI, your GovCon AI agent, because that's what we're going to do through this game now, to help you to solidify any evidence that you can provide SBA that will qualify you to meet the social disadvantage criteria. Are y'all hearing me? This is the first time I'm rolling this out for you, everybody.
Yes, ma'am.
Did y'all
Yes.
catch what I said? Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, examples that I saw, because white people could always apply into the program. I had a white male that was in the program, and his evidence and the way that he was able to get into the program because he didn't meet any of the ethnic groups, he stated that he had psoriasis. And because of his psoriasis, everywhere he went, people were looking at him when he went to school. When he went to the bank looked at his skin and he couldn't get access to capital. If you have any lawsuits, if you filed EEOC complaints and you can document it, then that's the evidence that now you're going to have to provide. They're just going to make it harder for you to get in. Does anybody have any questions around that? Any questions? Anybody?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. The second component of this is your economic net worth. You cannot, your economic, I mean, your net worth cannot, your adjusted net worth cannot exceed $850,000. Minus any equity in your home and any equity in your business. If you have rental property, the equity in those properties will be counted against you. If you're a real estate agent or broker, you cannot come in the program under that industry code. They do not allow brokers to come into the program. What I've helped my real estate community do is make sure on your tax returns that you are using the 541611 management consulting code to qualify under the program. If you have multiple businesses, that's a heartache for me as the SBA employee, a POPO. You can't, because part of the qualifications of this program as well is that you have to be full-time under that entity. And if you have multiple entities going on and you have revenue coming through multiple entities, then I can't determine which entity are you full-time under. Anything that your name is attached to, I have to investigate to make sure that you are qualifying under this net worth criteria. Any questions, anybody? Y'all quiet. The church quiet. No questions?
No questions for me.
That makes sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I've been so often I have had businesses come to me and our community, we good to create a new entity for that. I want to do transportation. I want to do multimedia. So now we got 5 different entities going on. And that means I have to look at 5 tax returns, 5 profits and loss. I have to see if you're legitimate.
Okay, I do have a question.
Yes,
You told me to change my business module, to add on, like, say for instance,
your business name.
therapy. Yeah, therapy, add therapy and social, like, case management. When you're doing that, you have to go back to change your whole, um, is
No,
it
you're going to keep your legal name. Your legal
okay,
name is never going to change.
okay.
What's going to occur in the class, you're going to create a doing business as.
Oh, okay,
Your DBA is your nickname.
okay,
That's what the government is going to know you as. But when
okay,
they issue you a contract, it's going to be under your legal name.
okay.
So just to break it down into layman's language, in the street, they may know you as Boo Boo. Everybody knows Boo Boo. But your
Mhm.
legal name, when you file your tax returns, is Paula K. Watts.
Mhm.
So your DBA is strictly for marketing purposes. Because again, we don't want you to be pigeonholed into any specific industry. The
Okay.
government buys everything. So that's why you have to think of it larger than your skill set and what you know. It's the same process if you're in business, Keisha. You still have to bring a team together to service that client, right?
Correct. Yes,
It's the
ma'am.
same process on the contract.
So do I have to go and change? I don't have to change nothing with my business that I have now
No,
if I'm adding
ma'am, we don't
another
want you to. I want you to keep the history.
Okay.
You're just going to register in sam.gov, your legal name, and then there's a slot that says trade name or doing business as name. And that's what you're going to put in there.
Okay.
Anybody else have any questions around that?
Thank you for that clarification.
That makes sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
The Hub Zone program. There's no term limits on this program. This program was designed to build your business. Was designed to build communities. When I look at the Hub Zone program, I like to look at what Magic Johnson did. What did Magic Johnson do? Anybody?
You play basketball?
Magic Johnson went into Hub Zone communities, underserved communities, and built movie theaters, partnered with Starbucks and hired from within. That's the same analogy of the Hub Zone program. It's designed to build community. You recertify every year, and in this program, you also get the opportunity of competitive and sole source contracts. The difference with this program, as it relates to as opposed to the 8A program, in order for an agency to do a sole source contract in the Hub Zone, Veterans, or Women's program, they have to make sure that there are at least two businesses that are qualified to do that program, to perform on that contract. Whereas in the 8A program, they don't have to have two. Just because you're in that program, they can say, okay, you're good, I can give you a sole source contract. Because think about it logically, they're at the end of the year. They don't have time to compete a lot of contracts. They have to get rid of the money. The only vehicle and the easiest vehicle that they have is the 8A program. They can just do a sole source. VA is the only other program, only other agency that does sole source contracts, and that's specifically for veterans. Do I have any veterans online?
A veteran's wife.
Pardon?
I'm a veteran's wife.
You're a
My
vet.
son,
Thank you for your services. And what I tell the veterans is that you're going to go back to all those databases. Those agent bases that you worked on. We're going to find a contract. And what I tell business owners when you're looking at opportunities and skill sets, a good resource for you to identify potential hires is through the Transition Assistance Program that's run through the Veterans Administration. You can, again, pull some of those individuals and provide them potential job opportunities. That makes sense?
so I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So I have children that are veterans. I'm not a veteran. So you said to go through that program to pull veterans. Would that qualify me?
No, you have
Okay.
to you have to own a business in order to qualify for the veterans program.
I own a business, but I'm not a veteran.
You can't qualify.
Okay.
As a veteran, you have to own 51% of the business. So the smart thing
Okay.
to do is have your children start a business and they can become a veteran-owned business owner. But what I was talking about is that you can identify people who are transitioning out of the um, government, out of the military as
Hmm.
potential hires as you're looking at contracting opportunities.
Okay.
Is everybody clear?
Hi, Paula. I have a question.
Yes.
My business, I know I'm asking you this quite early because I know you said that you have to be a minimum of 2 years, and my business is not 2 years yet, but I am taking notes for when I do get to that point. But I see here in the maybe second to last bullet, it says principal office must be in a hub zone. My business is currently online only, and my hope is that eventually I will have a location where I can keep
No,
inventory.
we're gonna go through this, right? Right. I'm
Okay,
gonna
I'll
show
wait. I'll wait. Sorry.
you. Anybody else? This is the map. This is what's going to determine whether or not you're located. So your business is online, but if I'm a home-based business and my business address is located in a hub zone, based on these criteria, can I qualify into the program? Someone.
Yes.
Hmm?
yes.
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 Why?
Because you're in the hub zone.
And it's two components.
And you have a business in the hub zone.
The 35%. That's the key. If you're a home-based business, you're an employee of the company, so you make that up the 35% of the employees.
So would you show that map again, please? Because I was under the impression, because I went through her training before, that's why I'm asking. Like Peachtree, you wouldn't think that was a hub zone, but you did show that as a hub zone.
Correct. Here. It's based on the census tract. Everything in America is based on the Census Bureau. And it's based on underserved communities. So the reason it made Peachtree a hub zone because previously there was a shelter around the corner.
Oh, okay.
And then again, it's qualified. This is changing. So this address may not. I hadn't even checked to see if it's still a hub zone. So it's understanding how you leveraging each of these certifications. The women's program, again, is broken down into two components. ED. If you apply to the ED, you do not have to apply to the WOSB. These are the qualifications. There's no minimum of time that you have to be in a business. And I don't recommend that you go through the third party certification because, hold on, we're going to teach you that in the class. You're going to do it yourself, upload all that information and know what you need to upload. I'd rather you understand the process yourself than passing it off for somebody else to qualify you. You must own, again, 51%, hold a highest position. They say work full time during normal working hours, but there's ways around that based on the industry. If you IT, I can justify my normal working hours could be after hours. So it's how you phrase and put that information in. For the veterans program, again, you get the same benefits, a competitive and sole source. And we also talk about subcontracting and prime contracting. Any large prime contractor that receives a contract of 750,000 or more have to submit a subcontracting plan on how they're going to meet these goals as well. For the veterans, again, thank you for your sacrifices. Everything is now transferred over to SBA. This is the quickest certifications that you can receive right now. And right now, the veterans are, I would say they outweighing AA based on this current environment. Um, Go ahead and get that. It's taking about 6 weeks to get that application through, and all of it is paperwork. And again, that's what we'll cover through our program. This is where we get confused because we're the most degreed community and we certified up. We have all kinds of certifications. We have the corporate certifications. And those certifications are MBEs, WBEs, VBEs. We talked about the federal, and DBEs are under the state. Then you can have the local certifications. And to me, it makes sense to start at the federal because you're minimizing your competition. And what you find with local and state is it's a lot of politics. I don't have to be in this state to win a contract. One of the cohorts last year, her background was IT. She won her first contract while in the cohort delivering rock salt in North Carolina. So if you think of government contracts, just think of project management. She marked that contract up 50%. Those are RFQs. There are contracts that are specifically for small businesses that are 350,000 and below. The corporate, the MBEs, you could be marketing them forever, and you don't know who's in, who to market to, how much money they have. Whereas the federal, everything is public, and that's what I'm going to take you to these websites so that you can see what I'm talking about. Anybody have any questions around these certifications and what we just discussed? Church quiet over there.
I'm good.
This is I don't like sam.gov. Sam.gov. How many of you familiar with sam.gov? That's where opportunities are posted by show of hands.
Me.
Yes.
I don't like sam.gov because it's confusing. I use this website because this website is a little more user friendlier than sam.gov, and I go in here and shop. The only thing that's cumbersome is these daggone ads, but it's broken down based on how the government is buying its services. It's broken down by year and then by month. So I can go in and say, oh, what is the government buying today? So when I go in here and look at the opportunities, you can see the number of opportunities that is posted by day. We see the sources sought notice, and then it goes to the solicitation phase. So you can see exactly every day what the government is buying. And the closer, again, you get to September, these numbers are going to increase because, again, they're going to get rid of the money. And how this is structured, you can see the industries are broken down by alphabet. The numbers are based on parts and equipment. So I can find an opportunity for anybody that's online right now, based on what the government is looking for. You see the numbers over here, and it's showing you the number of opportunities that are posted in that industry for that day. And so when I'm looking at the low-hanging fruit, I like to look
Can you
in
do
this.
medical services? It looks like it don't have that many.
Say what now?
Medical services, it does not look like it have that many.
For that day. This is
Oh,
daily.
okay.
This is daily, every day. So let's just look at medical services. So these are some of the things that they're looking for right now. Medical laboratory staffing services. So you just, again, partnering with somebody that has laboratory in that area. I'm not pigeonholing myself on my skill set. Uh, WIC, eligibility and program reach. Do I need to know anything about RIC just by the name of this, and what would be doing for this? What type of skill set or people that I would be looking for that project just based on the name? Anybody?
I have no idea.
Social services,
Oh, okay. Social services. Okay.
staff, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So it's something to support that program. Again, the government buys everything. Here, front desk entry, at desk entry specialist. If you in business, and you can see this is a small business set aside that they're looking for, and I always go to sam.gov for the official link. And um, it's going to tell you the information that they're looking for. So they did an amendment, apparently, And then I always like to look at the questions because the questions tell me, well, what's my competition and who else is applying. So if it's like 50 questions, I know I have a lot of competition. So you got a lot of people looking at this opportunity just based on these 2 pages. So it gives you a general idea of what they're looking for. And so when they're looking at the lowest price, um, I don't like the lowest price because they're trying to get dollar value. And again, they're looking at resumes. And based on who's asking the questions tells me, and this could be just one person that don't know what they're doing, what my competition is looking at. So this is the low hanging fruit. I don't have to know any. I'm just going to find somebody with the skill sets that they're looking for. Are y'all hearing me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now this is the this is the that right there, that database is what's currently out there. Why are you in business? Why are people in business? Somebody tell me, why do you think you're in business? What's your whole purpose?
To get generational wealth.
And that's one reason. Anybody else?
Make money.
No, ma'am. To keep your money. The whole game is to minimize your tax liability. And in this game, you have your tax dollar, understanding how the government works. Your tax dollars goes out and goes to Congress, and Congress determines how the money is spent. The money is spent for the most part in 2 areas: contracts, which is for profit, or grants, which is nonprofit. Grants are to serve the communities. Grants, you're always begging, and that's where we tend to start. And for me, I had a contract where I processed grant applications. And once I saw that process, and understand the whole purpose of nonprofits is a tax shelter. So I knew when my for-profit started making money that I could use my nonprofit as a tax shelter and still serve the community. But I wrote the nonprofit's mission statement broad enough so if I wanted to get grants, I could. So I'm getting money from both sides of the pot. Whole purpose of being in business is to minimize your tax liability. I'm not going to be mad with what he's doing because we just need to understand what the game is. We just need to understand how they're minimizing their taxes, and we just play the same game. So this is the database that tracks all of your tax dollars. It's showing where each of their dollars are going by agencies, through grants or through contracts. So we use this database to help you create a marketing strategy based on what the agencies have spent previously. I wanted to show you one of our students who she was a trucker, and she was in the class taking the class, but she started submitting bids. And you can see over here the different types of contracts that she was winning. This was one of the first ones that she won in class, delivering porta potties in Texas. Those are the run and dones, you in and out. This contract right here was for a 3-day meeting space. You see, it's a run and done, and the government needed event place, a space. So she found the event space that it was $48,000. She put her costs in at 104,000. She won. And then when you go down, and look at the competition, what do you see? One,
Mm.
nobody's competing because nobody knows how to play this game. Um, Here, this was a landscaping in Miami. Here she was doing dry cleaning services, picking up uniforms in Hawaii off the military sheet, right? Place of performance, Hawaii. She's here in Georgia.
Mm.
Yeah, a little bit more competition on here, but these are small business set asides without any competition. Are y'all hearing me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
What are you all hearing?
Don't
Not a
limit.
lot of competition. Don't limit yourself and put yourself out there.
And
Opportunity. But you know,
leverage these games. So this
mm,
database is where I really help you all to create a marketing strategy. So here, when you go to this database and you go down and we look at type of set aside. And if you heard me, I said 8A sole source contracts. You see that? The first thing, these contracts will never be advertised on sam.gov. They don't have to. They're just going to flip to another company. So we help you to follow these contracts when they're expiring and looking at the 8A companies that have them that may be graduating. That makes sense to everybody because they can't keep them. So now you position yourself for that contract, applying into that program, and potentially approaching that 8A firm before they graduate for subcontracting opportunities because they don't want to lose that contract and it's easier to flip it. Now, what the question is, how do I make money? This is a contract. I came in second place. I lost by $200,000. I passed the technical. It was a $29 million contract. This is how you get paid. Again, these are the positions that are contingency hires. I don't have all of these people on my staff waiting on these contracts. So we found the positions that were qualified to perform the tasks that were in the proposal. And now we come up with a budget saying this is how much it's going to cost you to manage this contract. This is the hourly rate. And what you see here, as we started winning more contracts, and to minimize my overhead cost, I started putting our partner salaries as direct labor on these contracts. So here you see the hourly rate that we're paying each employee and then the annual salary for each employee. And each year they're going to get a raise. And the government's going to reimburse us. And here they understand that it costs us to hire employees. So they're going to reimburse me for their fringe benefits. So our accounting system has to be set up to capture these costs. Here is the overhead. The government is going to reimburse me for some of my rent, different fees. This is where part of my salary came out, the partner's salary came out. And then you have the pass-throughs. I had a subcontractor. This was their cost. And then the government there's another pool that they are reimbursing me with. They call it G&A. And that's where, again, part of my salary came from. The accountants, lawyers, all of those fees were cost in those pools. And then when it's all said and done and all the expenses are paid, this would have been my profit each year. So had I won this contract on this one contract, my profit would have been $2 million. Are y'all hearing me?
Yes, ma'am.
We
Yes,
so
ma'am.
we can't even
Yeah.
think that large. I want y'all to think large. We think we get $200,000 or $300,000 contract. We made it. No, I want y'all to think of the millions. There's too much money out here that's going to impact our future. And this is the pathway. That's why I am passionate about what I do. Any questions on this budget? Any questions?
No.
Okay.
I'm glad you did it.
Um,
I'm glad you did it.
So the whole goal is to, again,
And then
position.
hopefully we can just be ready to grow out like this at
Hold
one
on,
less
Miss
hopefully it'll
Quiet. We're gonna
do
have to
it.
mute you. All right. So the whole goal is you to begin to create a strategy based on what's currently out there, and then also what's been awarded. You use this database to see what others have bought on those contracts previously, so you'll have a good feel. And then here is another avenue. Every year, these agencies will do a forecast. So in this forecast, it now allows you to get in front of and start asking questions before it comes out. So when you look at HUD, it breaks it down, and you can go to their forecast, and it breaks it down by industries and then by office. So when you look at their forecast, they're going to tell you what they're looking and when they anticipate it coming out, and then you have a point of contact. So you can start reaching out to these individuals before this opportunity come out. And I like new contracts because new contracts, I'm not competing with anybody. If it's a recompete right here, then you can take that actual contract number and put it in USA spending to get the actual contract value when it comes back out. So things like this, they've already awarded it or they canceled it. I like things, let's see, housing, recompete. And again, I don't necessarily have to have a housing background because some of these opportunities is not necessarily geared around just housing. But there was a contract where it was a new contract where they were looking for plats. Right. What's the contract? I don't know if it's still in there or if it's still good. I don't see it in there. But you get the gist of what I'm saying. So there's different pathways that you're going to take as you begin to build a marketing strategy. Right here is the program. The program is broken into three modules. It is business ready, government ready, contract ready. Although some of you may already have done a lot of this, but I make everyone start at the same place because you need to understand and have the foundation to support this. So you need to look at this module as a startup module, as a startup, just like you did in the first business. The second module is all around strategies. How do you strategize? How do I identify mentors? Because my goal is to connect you through SBA's Mentor Protege program. That way you get to leverage someone else's resources to put your business on steroid. I need a minimum of 5 to start. Um, The next cohort is going to start Wednesday, August the 26th. We meet weekly from 8 to 9:30 p.m. Everything is recorded. So even if you miss a class, you're able to go back. Um, I'm going to put an extra bonus in there for you all that are staying on for 1997, discounting the program for $500 until tomorrow. If you bring a team member, it's $34.97. You can split it, which makes it $17.50. You have office hours every week where we're going to a little bit more deep depth of government contracts. These are the things that you're going to get from each of the class. This is the deliverables. I also offer one-on-one coaching, and I have a school community, and I'm going to put that link in there, and that's free. The whole goal is after people complete the program, we still need to connect and collaborate. We cannot do this by ourselves. So this is where I also put a lot of opportunities that I see are coming up that again, people don't even think about. The government buys an instructor, group of aerobics. Understand what's out here. They need somebody to a cosmetology to do training. That to me is the low-hanging fruit. Does anybody have any questions? And the reason I like this is this map. Because again, as you're looking at opportunities, you now know you have somebody in the community. If I'm in Georgia and I see opportunity in Texas, you know, you have somebody in the community that you can reach out to that can help be boots on the ground. That's the whole goal. This is how we are mobilizing. Makes sense, everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Any questions? And I'm going to put this link in the classroom. Hold on. I'm in the chat. All right. That was a whole lot, y'all, this morning. I always like to end with some takeaways. What's some takeaways? Keisha?
Um, I just learned a lot this morning. I'm ready for your class and everything that you have to offer, you know.
And,
I've been praying for this, so it just fell in my lap.
and PayPal has a payment plan as well. It's 6 months, no interest.
Okay.
Abby, what was your takeaway?
My takeaway is that when I get to my 2-year anniversary, I need to stop everything I'm doing and call you or reach out to you.
You can get in there under a waiver. There's different ways.
Oh, okay.
There's a waiver. You can Google it and look it up.
I sure will. Thank you.
Ms. Lockhart, what was your takeaway?
I learned a lot that I didn't already know. Like I said, my husband's a veteran and we had a veteran owned business and I just couldn't figure out SAMS.gov. So we didn't do nothing with that. But yeah, I let me find some money so I can join your cohort.
Mhm. And leverage it. And my goal is to get it back beforehand, and it's doable. You put the work in, and I'm gonna show you an example. One lady that she just right now in the class. They're currently in the second module. I am so proud of her. She is the one who just she's broke the record. Because in the end, what I'm doing is dressing everybody else to look like everybody. So she just started this 5 weeks ago. You would never know that it's just her. Are y'all seeing this?
Yes, ma'am.
This is the end goal that you all are going to get through. These are her divisions that she's created. This isn't active, but she's following the blueprint. We fake it till we make it. All right, that's her capability statement. She hadn't even gotten a cage code and all of that information. So what I like to say is I'm dressing you up to look like everybody else. But I'm just so proud of her, what she's done in the 5 weeks. She's killing it. All right, I'm gonna put my Miss Lorena Douglas. What's going on?
Oh, I'm just absorbing. Like I went through the program with Miss Paula. I definitely recommend you ladies to go through her program because she has all the golden nuggets, exactly what you need, how to get to what you need. And I'm still learning. I came in not knowing anything. I've learned a lot, still learning. That's why I'm on this call because I want to learn more and really start bidding and getting contracts. So I'll be setting up a consultation with Miss Paula so that I can move forward. But I love her program and it is intense, but it's worth every minute of it, guaranteed.
Just do your homework. I'm
Yeah,
my homework. Y'all going
yeah,
back
you
to
have to do
school.
your homework. She may send it back, but it's making you better because she sent mine back, not only me, other people. And so it just makes you better. And like I even had to rename my business doing a DBA, but it makes sense. And so I went through all that, got my cage number, and so it's worth it, everyone.
Okay. I put my phone, thank you, Miss Douglas. I put my phone number in the chat. So if anybody have any additional questions, please feel free to reach out. And I don't think I have your email address. Can you put your email addresses in there and I'll send you all the recording. Okay? And thank you for sharing your Saturday morning with me. All right. So you put your email in there, and then I'll make sure you get the recording. All right, you guys.
Thank you. Have a great day, everybody.
You too.
Thank you,
Bye.
Miss Paula.
All right. Y'all have a good one. Miss Lockhart, let me ask you another question.
Yes.
What did you all do in the military?
Oh, my husband was a paratrooper.